good evening, ma'am. Am I audible to you?
Yeah, very good evening, Aishwarya. I'm completely
Yeah.
audible.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, shall we begin the session?
Yeah, definitely, I'm ready.
Okay. Just.
Hi,
Hi, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
and it's all my pleasure. I
Yeah.
love interacting with students.
Yeah. Thank you. So, shall we begin, ma'am?
Yes, definitely. I am ready from my end.
Okay. So, good evening, everyone. So, myself, Aishwarya, founder of InnovaWorld Private Limited, and also a founder and CEO of Skyfi Tech, and co-founder and director of Thames Tech Solutions. So, good evening, our esteemed guest, intern, and colleague. I extend a warm welcome to all the AICT interns and our lovely viewers who have joined here in this platform to learn about the era of 4C applied in the field of engineering research. And hearty welcome to our Chief Technology Officer, PK Dhara, who was a former scientist in the Department of Atomic Energy. His vision and leadership has paved the way for innovation and growth within our organization. I extend a warm welcome to our Chief Managerial Officer also, Engineer Purma Kishan, whose strategic guidance drive our endeavors towards success. Furthermore, I would like to welcome our heartfelt welcome to our Dr. Arunava Majumdar, our esteemed research head, who serve as a backbone of our research division. And I'm truly honored to our chief guest of the day, Engineer Tanveen Kaur. She is experienced head of the department with a demonstrative history of working in a secondary education industry. She is also working with the profile of student collaborations with the different corporate industries, and she has also helped to get scholarship and as well as to get a career counseling curriculum. She has been awarded as a best teacher as well as a very good counselor. And we are thrilled to have you here, ma'am, to join us to share your valuable words with our AICT interns, and so that you can navigate that from communication to the creativity and creativity to a critical thinking, that how the process works. And definitely throughout the session you will learn about the real time problems, how to face the real time world, and what are the challenges with some real time examples. And also I hope you will learn that how to empower your communication skill, professional skill, which are globally required to crack the global market or the market requirement in fact. So once again I welcome you, ma'am, and welcome to each and every one of you. Let's make this session one of the remember. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya, for your kind words. I'm really overwhelmed. And I always take my sessions as a good opportunity to interact with the like minded people and with the youth of our nation, those who are going
Yes.
to bring a dynamic change in society.
Thank you, ma'am.
So it's all my pleasure to be here with you all today. Like as engineering students, if I talk about, you are embarking on a journey that requires not just technical knowledge but a comprehensive skill set to navigate and excel in an ever evolving world. Today we'll be talking about 4 C's that are being so much encouraged by NEP as well. If I talk about 4 C's, which is critical thinking, the most important, then we have creativity, then we have collaboration, and we have communication. Clubbing of these C's, we call it as a 4 C's. What is this 4 C's? A dynamic thing which is everywhere in the market. Everyone is talking about these 4 C's. You talk about corporate world, you talk about any university student, you talk about school students, and if you write about your profile, everywhere there is lot of emphasis laid on these 4 C's. So these are very important part of your professional life. How these essential skills will shape your careers and contributions, particularly in the field of engineering. So the four most important, the first C, which is critical thinking. So first, let's delve into critical thinking. If I talk about so engineering, what is engineering? When we talk about all the technical things, it is engineering. So engineering is fundamentally about solving problems, and this requires the ability to analyze situations rigorously, question assumptions, and to evaluate solutions from multiple perspectives. Critical thinking is which helps you to identify the root cause of the problem identification, which we call, and diverse effect and efficient solution. This is all critical thinking. So let me take an example. So being engineering students, we all work on some project. So let us assume that we are working on a project which is about renewable energy systems. So there you might encounter conflicting data or unexpected performance issues when we work on any project. So some data which will be very much abrupt, which we would feel like what is this? This might not happen.
Right.
So there your critical thinking is important. Their critical thinking will help you to dissect the problem, understanding of the underlying physics into that problem, and make a data driven decision. All of your data is lying on your table, and you, while thinking critically, you will be coming across a proper solution and one final judgment. This is critical thinking. So, in your coursework or your future projects, don't just expect information at face value. Just challenge it, test it, refine it. There is one term, unlearn and relearn. Use tools like scientific method. You can use root cause analysis and some, which there we call FMEA. I hope you might all be familiar with this term, which is failure mode and effect analysis, to ensure your solutions, which are robust and well founded. So this analytical mindset will enable you to innovate and excel in your field. So this is what critical thinking. Critical thinking comes into account when you have do or die situation. You have to perform under the pressure. When there is a lot of pressure, there is a deadline, then also you have to perform. You have to think critically, you have to think creatively, and then you have to perform. There comes critical thinking. And with this critical thinking, if you have that power to hold that critical thinking, you can move ahead with any project which you feel like. So this is very lump sum information which I'm giving you. I'll be sharing one PPT also with you, but before that, I want you, like, you should understand what these four C's are all about. So next, if I talk about which is creativity. Creativity is very important. Nowadays, there is a lot of emphasis laid on design thinking. Design thinking is all about creativity. So engineering is not just applying existing knowledge. It is all about innovation and creating new solution. Our India is also being known as third startup economy in the world. So we are among top three startup economies. So everywhere you feel like you'll see a new startup. These days, IITians will not be found in any, MNCs or anything. IITians will be found that group of IITians club together and they are starting their own startup. So how this startup is coming? This startup is coming out of some innovation and creativity which you have in your mindset. And I always say to my student, if you are non-medical student, you have a very good search engine. So the way you will do research, the way you will search on Google, nobody else can do it. Why? Because we have a dynamic and diverse thinking process. So creativity is also part of that. Creativity in engineering, it means when we think outside the box. This much normal to everyone is doing. I have to do something innovative out of that. I have to do something apart from what common people they are thinking about. So when we think out of the box, when we find some unique solutions to the problems, their creativity comes account. So a very very basic example, if I talk about, few years back there were no electric driven these vehicles. Electric driven cars were not there, but now government is also supporting. So who bought this technological change? Engineers, because they thought creatively. They thought how we can save our environment, how we can save our resources. So you just consider the design of a first electric car. Who would have designed? Engineers, obviously. So engineers had to think creatively to overcome challenges. Nowadays, also, there are electric driven cars, but what problem we are facing is battery technology, energy efficiency. So, there also engineers are working to bring some innovative change. So, but still, today's electric vehicles are the testament to power of creative problem solving. It is, when we talk about something innovation, foundation is always a problem. Being an engineer, I have to look around myself. I have to see what problem is there. I need to analyze that problem. That will be my problem statement. So once I have a problem statement with me, then I can have multiple or n numbers of innovative solutions out of that. But before that, I need to change my mindset. What we usually do, we usually see problems, but we never find out solution. We start blaming others. This is the things in our personal life and our professional life as well. But what we need to do, we need to think about that problem and its solution along with that. If I can find out solution, then I could be innovative. So their innovation comes into account. So whether you are designing a new product or you're improving some process, or let's say you're developing some software, your ability to think creatively will set you apart. Your ability to think out of the box will make you separate from the crowd. So if you have to stand with a crowd, with a in a crowd with a crown, so then you need to have this creativity mindset. Embrace curiosity. So I was reading one book. There it was like that. We are teaching students how to write, how to speak, how to, these four traits: reading, speaking, listening. So we are teaching our students, but we are not teaching our students how to think. Thinking is also an art. There is a process for thinking. We can have one session on thinking also sometime later, but thinking is also an art. How I can think, how I can ask questions. There is one very good book, I don't remember the name of author, which is The Art of Asking Questions. I can bet you age group of 18 to 24 has different mindset. You can think in a different manner. We cannot think in that manner. Your innovation, technology, your mindset, everything will be different. But I cannot, think in a that way. So curiosity is there. What we do, we suppress our curiosity. When I have to stand out of the box, or when I have to stand with a crown in a crowd, then I have to embrace curiosity. I need to ask questions to my mentors. I need to experiment with new ideas, and don't be afraid to take calculated risks. It's okay if my this idea fails, I'll be coming up with new idea. So don't have that risk taking capacity in you. The power of risk taking capacity, which is the foremost important in case if you're looking forward for your career in entrepreneurship. So risk taking capacity should be there. And in case if you want to do something different, then obviously this is very important thing. Engage yourself in brainstorming session. Use design thinking methodologies. Use latest technologies and trends. And remember one thing, some of the greatest engineering feats started as a wild and unconventional ideas. It is all about thinking out of the box and coming up with new ideas. This is about creativity. The third C is collaboration. It is very, very, very important. Why? Because soon we are going to hit gig economy. Gig economy is when we'll be working on projects as a freelancers. So when we work on a project, engineering projects are rarely done in isolations. It is usually a result of teamwork. Like you will often find yourself working in multidisciplinary teams during your final year project as well, where ability to collaborate effectively is crucial. I have seen many of my students alone, they are performing so well. When some project is assigned to them, and I see them to work in a team, and child is not performing. Why? Because child is not taught how to collaborate. It is very important to understand what others are having knowledge about that particular product. I know that this is right, but I need to understand. I need to have some listening skills. I need to collaborate also. So let us, being in engineering, let us assume that like you are, imagine you're working on some smart city project. Smart city project will involve civil engineers, will involve electrical engineers, computer science engineers, urban plannings, and many more, many more. Alone, I cannot make my city as a smart city. Alone, I cannot work on any project. I require effective collaboration. A collaboration which ensures that all aspects of projects integrate seamlessly to create cohesive and functional outcomes. So collaboration, it is very important. It involves not only contributing your own expertise, but also valuing and integrating the perspectives and skills of others as well. Because if I am good electrical engineer, my fellow would be having some different idea, and maybe his idea will work more rather than me. So this comes out of collaboration when I am giving them space to present their idea as well. Learn to communicate your ideas clearly. Communication is very important. I'll talk about communication as well. We should listen actively. We should be open to our feedback, irrespective of the fact feedback could be positive or negative, but I should keep my panel open for feedback. So what you need to do is like collaboration, you'll say, ma'am, how can we collaborate? You need to create or foster an environment of respect and trust within your teams, and leverage collaboration tools like if you're working on some project management software, or you can share some digital workspace. You can make one page on Instagram and you can share the password so that whatever, it's like you can give that responsibility to one more person. In case that person feels like that this is the right thing to upload, he can do it. We need to give that space. So by working well with others, you can achieve outcomes that are greater than the sum of their parts. So this is the way why collaboration is very important. Next, the four most important thing and my bestest part is communication. No matter what, you are 90%, 97% scorer, 99% scorer. If you are not able to present yourself in a public, your 99% is just a mark sheet which you will keep in your file. So no matter how brilliant your ideas are, they need to be communicated effectively to have an impact. Until unless I am not able to express myself, what idea I have, what would that idea do? But what it means, this means being able to explain complex technical concept. You being an engineer, you need to explain some concepts to a person who is layman, who is a non-engineer, who cannot understand your flux, your resistance, your power, your factors. That person cannot understand. How you will convert your engineering, those particular terminology to a layman terminology, how you are going to concise your report. So this is the basic thing, how you present your communication. So, for example, if I talk about communication, let's take an example. When we are proposing a new infrastructure project, so let we were talking about smart city. So let us take example of that only. So when we are proposing a new infrastructure project to some of our city officials, you need to convey technical details, its benefits, its cost, its risk in a way that it is understandable, and most important, it is persuasive. So, your ability to communicate effectively can make a difference between your project being approved or rejected. One thing more I would like to add upon here is nowadays, interviews are nothing like that. You will be sitting in the panel, and four or five panelists will be there who will ask you. Many MNCs or many universities, in case if you are pursuing, if you are planning to study, go for a higher education, what do? They'll say, we give you 5 minutes, present yourself. You will be given a task to make a PPT about your CV, what you want to address, and there you will be communicating about yourself in the form of presentation. So by this you can understand that how communication skills are important. Strong communication skills, like they can help you to advocate your ideas, to get some funding for your projects, and to lead teams successfully. So, how you can improve your communication? It is practice your writing, your presentation skill, and always be very clear and persuasive. Like, do not confuse your audience. Never confuse, because if you will be flooding with lot of information, then your audience might get confused. So, keep your presentation very subtle and simple. In case if you are here to presentation, like I'll be preparing, so presenting my presentation also, that is because we are not working on some very particular rules and regulations. So here it works because my main motive is to make you understand. So there I can make my presentation on my own choice, not following much rules and regulation. But worldwide, one rule of presentation is that your slide will have only 8 words. Your slides cannot have proper sentences, paragraphs. You cannot have 8 word slide is the global format to make a presentation. You being engineering students, you'll be working with a lot of MNCs. So there you may keep this thing in your mind. So, this effective communication is not about just talking, but also listening to others, their perspectives, and their needs. So, I hope that now you are able to understand what these 4 C's are all about. And you know how you can come across these 4 C's, what will be the idea of 4 C's, and why these are important. So, before I dive into my presentation, I would like, in any form, if anybody of you want to ask me any question, you can. Just I have kept my forum open for 2, 3 minutes before, because by the time I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah. Okay, students, you have any questions, so you can just ask or write in the chat box. So you have wonderfully stated about the presentation that it has to be 8 words only, right? Yeah, that's a key point.
That is very, very, very important,
Yeah,
because lot of companies, they are going to, disqualify you if you're not working on that particular, because here those students are there. My main motive is to make them understand.
right.
But when I have to present my any project, I'm working with some, let's just assume Microsoft, Google, those who are very strict on these points. So there they say very bluntly that we should have only 8 words in one slide.
Okay. This
Yeah.
is one of the important point. I think I've seen many of us students just dumping the entire sentence into the PPT.
Yes.
So that's a greatest mistake that they are doing. Even they're
Yes.
doing innovations, so they should be well aware of presenting it also. Right. So we have some question. How to start a startup in a technological field?
Okay. So see, startup is it is very easy these days. Why? Because government is supporting you. Government is supporting you like anything. You have a startup, you have a problem statement, you have a solution out of that. Get your idea patent. The first step of your startup is to get your idea patent. No matter you're going to start with your company after 3 to 4 years, but your idea should be patent under IPR rights. So once my idea is patent, we have one community which we call it as, in Punjab we have, and in somewhere Gujarat also they are there, which is Innovation Mission Punjab. They support startups like anything. They are going to provide you workspace. They will be providing you angel investors. They are going to provide you some networks also, and they will be supporting you as a mentors as well. So I have my problem statement, I have my solution, I'll get my idea patent, and I can start working on it.
True. Hmm. I think there is another question. Can you explain how a project to be presented in an attractive way?
See, project to be attracted, first you should be very much clear. There are 4 key points when we say about presentation. The basic thing is your presentation should not be monotonous. You should explain the your problem statement or your presentation before starting the presentation, so that you and your audience are at the same level. You need to build a rapport between your audience as well. So once your rapport is built up, you and your audience are at same level. Suppose you are going to present a project to your mentors, so first explain them why this project is there. What is the reason you selected this project, and how much hard work you have done on it. Hard work you can done on it, you can show them with your various reports. Reports are very important. See, presentation should not be about all the, some paragraphs and some pictures. It should have some data driven reports as well. So how you worked, so that your mentors are also able to understand that you have worked so hard on that. And be very much clear with your communication skills. Your content should be ready. What you are going to speak to your mentors, you need to practice that as well. So that, sometimes what happens, their presentation is very good, but students, they are not able to present that presentation in effective manner. So there, the most important thing is about your non-verbal attitude as well. How I'm presenting myself, how my body language is, how much energetic I am, and how much enthusiasm is on my face. So if you consider these 4 to 5 factors, then you can do wonders in your presentation.
Yeah. So I would like to add on one point. Like many of the students think that okay, I have done a great work, my innovation is great, but they are lacking in the presentation. So you have to
Hmm.
keep in mind that of course that is important that to keep your project or research work innovative. On the same time, you should know how to present it. Until and unless you're presenting your idea to the other people, there is no worth it. So
Definitely. It
yeah.
is all about presentation. See, Ashwarya, we are living in 21st century,
Yeah.
and we have, this generation Z, this alpha people, they know how to make presentation. With simple AI, they can make their presentation. So mentors also, they know that this presentation has been made by AI. So it is all about your communication, how you present it.
Yes, and nowadays, believe me, that I have seen, if you see the AI slide, it is really understandable, like it is made out of AI, and that is not that effective when you make it in your own expression and hand.
So this is what, although I am moving out of my track, but what
Yeah.
I say, this is a warning to our students.
Yes.
In case if you're not going to keep yourself AI savvy, earlier we used to say tech savvy.
Yeah.
If you're not keeping yourself AI savvy, you will not exist in this corporate world.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people, AI will ultimately dominate you. AI will dominate, many of us, even I say that sooner or later software developers jobs will be gone, sooner or later content building jobs will be gone. Who is going to take this AI? But if a person knows how to use that AI in my job, they'll not go anywhere.
True.
So we need to understand the value of AI as well, and we need to, understand, and we need to know how to use those AI technologies. There are a lot of, softwares. Canva is there, this Adobe is there. You just give your prompt, and your presentation is ready.
True.
So this is how we need to keep ourselves aware. And students of this era should be dynamic, those who are learning everything new in order to have this holistic development. And what our corporate culture is demanding, that students should have dynamic personalities to unlearn and relearn. If today I'm working on this profile, I'm going, if by chance I'll be switching to another profile, I should be ready.
Yeah.
That transition phase I need to understand, and I should make myself capable of that as well.
True. That is a real world scenario actually.
This is the real world. Gone are those days ki if I have done engineering, I'll be working with electricity board only if I'm electrical engineer.
Yeah.
No, you never know where future is going to take you. So you have to make yourself future ready.
Yeah. Thank you. So you can start your session with the
Yes.
PPT. Yeah.
Okay.
And furthermore questions we can take in the end of the session.
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, coming back to our 4 C's, which is I prepared this because I didn't thought of that I would be telling you initially about 4 C's. Anyhow, let us start with that. So, this will be an interactive session focused on developing the essential skills which I was talking, this communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking, which is very difficult to understand what students they feel. But anyhow, it's not that difficult. So, over the next hour, we will explore these key 4 C's, and we will learn practical strategies to elevate your abilities in each area. That is why I took relevant examples related to your engineering field. So I was talking about communication, the four most important. That is why I took it as the first C. It is the cornerstone of effective engineering. So 3 stages of communication are that question which child asked about presentation. This is the better answer to that as well. My verbal communication, my written communication. Why? Because ultimately we have to write reports and emails also, and presentation skills. These three are the pillar of communication. And my dear students, communication is the foundation of your any job. Communication is very, very, very important. If I am not able to communicate, if I am not able to express myself, or if I'm not able to tell what the problem is, where the problem is, then I am at most difficult stage of my life. So first I'll tell you what are the types of communication, and then I'll also tell you how to improve that. So foremost important is verbal, which we are doing right now. It is clearly articulating your ideas and presenting technical information, and leading discussions are essential skills for engineers, because soon or later you will be sitting in some interviews where GD is the first stage. The group discussions are so important. A person who leads group discussion get extra marks. So if I'm sitting in a group of 8 to 10 people, if some topic is given to me and I am the first one to lead that communication, that group discussion, then definitely I will get plus one in case if I'm scoring five or six. So definitely a person who starts and who concludes is always getting one extra mark out of that. So this is how you need to keep yourself vigilant and very clear, and you have to remove your hesitation and you have to speak. Then comes written communication. You might be wondering now, ma'am, we have chat GPT. What is there for written communication? People are very smart these days. Chat GPT always gives you so long answers and irrelevant answer. If somebody is writing to me and that person has written via Chat GPT, then I can make out in a single second. So where is your thinking gone? So where is your creativity? If ultimately I have to get things done by Chat GPT, then why company will hire you? Although there are a lot of these AI tools, but I have my human brain, which is the most creative tool in this era. Most creative is our brain, but we are not using it. Why we are not using it? Because we are in our comfort zone. So just go back to the thing where I said that we need to get out of the box. So when I'm coming out of the box, I need to use my brain to write things in a different manner, to write things briefly. In corporate world, no one has a time to read long emails. No one. Everybody prefers bullet lines. Emails also, a proper format to write email is write in a bullet points, and the most important thing which is there in a bullet point, just hold it. Because ultimately if I'm a CEO of any organization, I don't have time to read, and that will give a very bad impression as well. So, your written communication should be crafting concise, well structured reports, emails, and document, which is crucial for conveying complex engineering concepts. Although Chat GPT and various other tools are going to help you, but if I have a complex situation and I need to make it simple, and ultimately I am the person who is going to communicate with the person sitting on the other hand, so I need to use my brain and make things easy for them. And then comes presentation skills. So delivering impactful, visually engaging presentations to your stakeholders, clients, and team is a valuable asset. No matter you are a software engineer, you are a civil engineer, you are electrical engineer, whichever part of engineering you are touching, you need to have that presentation skills. You need to understand what other person is demanding, what is the problem of other person, and what other person is expecting out of that presentation. So let us assume my topic was four C's. If I would have taken, some other thing in front of you, then this session is of no use. So we need to understand, what other person is expecting for me. I need to put myself on that expectation. Then ultimately my presentation is going to do wonders. Other was collaboration. See, collaboration, I say it is so important. Why? Because nowadays, our this generation, Z or Alpha generation, whatever you call yourself, they do not have that capacity to collaborate with their team. They do not collaborate with their team. They say, ma'am, we'll do our work. This is my work I have done. You take care of other. No, when I am moving out of my college, ultimately I have to collaborate with someone. I'll be working in a team, and this post covid, what is happening? Everyone is working from home. I am not meeting with my team. In case if I am meeting with my team on regular basis, then I have a different equation with them. Then my ecosystem is different, right? But I'm not meeting my team. I am just calling them, and that too. IT people, they do not have video calls. They have team calls. And team calls, they can switch on their camera and they might not switch on their camera. So you have to build a rapport with the person who is sitting just next to you and who has kept your camera off. You have to collaborate with them. See, it is so difficult. When we go to office, we sit together, we share some of our family equations, we sit for a lunch together, we do a gossip about office as well. Then collaboration building is okay, can be easy. But when I'm not meeting my other teammate, I don't know. I've just seen picture of my teammate on my, that particular Teams app only, which every company is having. But I have never visited her. I don't know her. I have never talked to her about her personal life. Still, I need to collaborate. How will that collaboration be effective? For that collaboration, it is very, very, very important to harness the power of teamwork, right? So that is why I say collaboration is important. So if I talk about collaboration, then comes the main important thing, which is synergy. When engineers they collaborate, their combined knowledge and skills, they create a synergistic solution which is greater than a sum of their individual effort. Maybe I am not able to come up with any one particular solution, but if I sit with my team will come up with solution. And it is my benefit. It is our mutual benefit to collaborate and work in a team. So this is one point. Other is diverse perspectives. Diverse perspective is incorporating diverse viewpoints, which encourages out of the box thinking, leading to much more innovative and well rounded engineering designs. Because I might be having some different mindset, and maybe I might not be able to come up with a solution of that problem. But when I sit in my team, my ex colleague or my colleague or my friend, he or she might help you in one particular thing. That is the benefit of collaborating. The very, very important, that shared accountability. Shared accountability is, if anything wrong happens, then ultimately team is responsible for that. So we are sailing in the same boat. So collaborative teamworks foster a sense of shared accountability, motivating engineers to contribute their best work and support one another. So ultimately, we have efficient workflow. I alone cannot work in one project. Maybe at different stages, I would be requiring different persons. So, by dividing tasks and coordinating efforts, engineering teams can leverage their collective strengths to achieve some project goals effectively. So, this is some sort of why collaboration is important, and it is very much important, not only at our workplace, collaboration is important at our home also. We need to collaborate. In a family, we collaborate, we divide our roles and responsibilities. If some function is there at our home, if some function is there within our family, we divide our roles and responsibilities. One person alone in one family cannot come up with, one any event which is being there. So ultimately, we need to collaborate. Next is creativity. Again, engineering is known for innovation. I bet you soon by this more 10 to 15 years, engineering word will be gone and we'll have innovation. Innovation is very important. Innovation, innovation is, how innovation will be there if I will have a foundation of creativity. If my creativity will be there, then innovation can withstand. It is a two-way foundation. So why creativity? Why creativity is important? The basic is, if I want to foster innovation in engineering, then it is important. Creativity will lead you divergent thinking. So cultivate an open-minded approach to problem solving. Suppose there is a problem. Let us assume, I'll tell you one of the very, very basic problem of our Indian society. Students are not taught, toddlers are not taught about good touch and bad touch. Nowadays, NEP is also focusing on good and bad touch. We need to explain this thing, or we need to educate our little toddlers of 2, 3 age only, what is good touch and what is a bad touch, so that later on they do not face any harassment. I was talking about this problem in my class. And I love interacting with very young kids because they are having some sort of different creativity. So I was interacting with my council member, junior council members. They are students of grade third, fourth, and fifth. There I started discussing about this problem. I said, good touch and bad touch, we need to introduce to our little children so that they are aware about it. So one child, I thought that this is the problem and I want solution out of it. Who will help me? So you'll be amazed. I got very, very, very creative ideas. But I gave this as a homework. One child came to me next day only. He said that he was of grade three, I guess. So he said, ma'am, I want to invent a doll. That doll will be having a senses of good touch and bad touch. If we are giving a good touch, then that doll will smile. And if we are giving a bad touch, then that doll will scream. You just imagine, it was so easy to make our little kids educate about this problem. So I said, okay, you go ahead with that. So this, I'm giving you example how you can start up with your project. I sent that child to a ATL. ATL is Atal Tinkering Lab, where all this tinkering, innovation things are done. So I sent that child. I said that this child is having idea about how we can educate kids about good and bad touch. So we need to make a doll, and there we can insert some sensors or something programming you will do, and ultimate our product will be about screaming and smiling. So that ATL coordinator, she said, okay, we can invent that. But therein she was requiring a help of ATL students, those who are good in coding. So one child has an idea, that child pass on its idea to another person. Then our tinkering laboratory coordinator, she came. Further, she assigned some tasks to another students. Then our students, those who are good in coding, they came. Ultimately, with a collaborative, see, ultimately these things are coming. I communicated my problem. Out of communication, I got answer. Then creativity, solution to that answer, and then is communication and critical thinking in the brainstorming session which I started. So all four C's with collaboration, and that few group of, like you can say, 4 to 5 students, they invented one doll, and that doll was shown to IIM Punjab, which gave them investment also. And now they are producing that doll, although do not have any proper workstation or anything. 3 to 4 dolls they have made, and they have given those dolls to kindergarten schools, where students of age group 3 to 5 are there, and there their kindergarten teachers are teaching students about good and bad touch. So this is how we need to make an ecosystem. Creativity cannot be done alone. Collaboration cannot be done alone. Critical thinking cannot be done alone. It is making that ecosystem. With that ecosystem, definitely we are going to bring a dynamic change in a society. And my next was multidisciplinary collaboration. Ultimately, we are going to collaborate. So, leverage diverse perspectives from cross functional teams to generate novel ideas. Novel ideas are new ideas and synergies that drive innovate or engineering designs. Prototyping. Prototype is one word. When that doll was designed, we made one model. And when we make one model or one art project out of our creativity and our problem statement, we call it as a prototype. This is my prototype. So, rapid prototyping, embrace an iterative mindset, which is rapidly testing and refining ideas through hands on prototyping to quickly transform concepts into tangible solutions. Last is embracing failure. We should embrace our failure. Foster a culture that celebrate calculated risk taking and views failure as a valuable learning opportunities. So don't get discouraged by failure. Don't get discouraged. I always say that fail is not a fail. Fail is first attempt in learning. So never say that I have failed in this subject. No, it is your first attempt. You tried. And in case if you're not able to do, then we can try once again. What is a big deal in that? Life is about risk taking. So we should keep ourselves ready in case something happens like that. Now, next C was critical thinking. Critical thinking comes into account when I have to solve a complex problem. So for that, I need to have my analytical mindset. Analytical mindset means when a lot of things are available to me and I have to analyze that situation and I have to come up with some solution. So successful engineers, they approach to problems with keen analytical eye. Keen analytical eye means they are going to observe each and everything, breaking down a complex challenge into a manageable components, and then evaluating various solutions before arriving at optimal approach. So we need to think analytically. Creative problem solving. So for problem solving, we need to have some brainstorming sessions. We need to collaborate with our team and we need to think critically. We need to think analytically. We need to have a positive mindset as well. So beyond analytical skills, like engineering excellence requires ability to think creatively, combining existing knowledge, what knowledge I have, and what innovative things I can add on. So problem solving is also an art. If I sit with one problem, definitely many ideas will come to me, and I have to think out of that. Next is iterative improvement. So critical thinkers in engineering are not afraid to experiment, test this. I know that you people might be going into your laboratories and doing a lot of experiments over there. So you can refine your ideas, you can recognize the path to best solution. It often involves multiple iteration and a willingness to adapt. So this is ultimately the last thing, which is developing a soft skill. It is very important, a competitive advantage. So I have like being engineer or technical expert, it is very essential, but soft skills are true differentiators. How you are going to set a benchmark in a crowd. This is if you have certain soft skills. Soft skills are really very important. How you build your profile, how you communicate, your non-verbal communication, your body language, your gestures, your expressions, everything comes under soft skill. So mastering communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking will set you apart in job market and propel your career. I am 97% scorer. I don't have soft skills. Then my resume will be at last. I have a soft skills and I am an average child. Then ultimately you are going to rule the world. So employers, what do they seek? They seek engineers. Again, end of the story is same. Who can convey complex ideas, work seamlessly in diverse team, generate innovative solution, and tackle multifaceted problem. I do not have that capacity to take a pressure on me. I cannot work in a market because nowadays it is all about competing with deadlines. You have that target and you have not done it. You have to explain. You have to give explanation to your manager. How things they work upon, and you need to build a balance between your work life and your personal life as well because there is a very thin line, so you have to maintain that balance. You cannot ruin your work life and you cannot ruin your personal life. That balance is very important. Now comes the strategies. We have talked a lot about of these four C's. How I can improve my strategy. The basic thing to improve anything in your life is to write down journals. Write down what you are feeling, what your strength is, what is your weakness. Conduct psychometric tests, conduct self-assessment tests to understand your current skills. These are my current skills. So this is my current skill. This is my ultimate goal. I need to synchronize my current skill with my ultimate goal. If that sine wave is developed, then I'm a king. If not, then I have to work on that. So this will help you to focus your development effort. Seek feedback and mentorship. Always ask for a help. You are blessed with wonderful mentors. Ask for a help. Engage with your professors, your peers. Go for internship. Just ask for your valuable feedback. Who can guide you through 4 Cs? Practice, practice, and practice. This is the final and ultimate solution to anything. Actively seek out opportunities to apply and refine your 4C skills, such as group projects, case studies, or ECA, that is extracurricular activities, and continuous learning and adaptation. It is very important. You need to keep yourself updated. If you will not keep yourself updated, then you cannot survive in this world. In this century, you cannot survive. You need to keep yourself updated on AI. You need to keep yourself updated on new vocabularies. You need to keep yourself updated on these, social media things which is happening. One thing more, you need to make your digital presence also. Digital presence is very important. Digital footprint is very important. So, practical exercises and hands on activities which can help you, which is collaborative projects. You work on collaborative projects and you can build lot of prototypes, design challenges, tackle real world engineering problems. There are a lot of problems, environment related problem, green energy problem. There we have renewable energy problem, solar energy problem. If I talk about engineering, to understand these problems and come up with some new innovative ideas. Simulation exercises, explore complex systems using advanced engineering software. There are a lot of softwares available which are free of cost. You just need to practice hand on. So to truly develop 4Cs, we can engage on hands-on activities that put your skills to test. You can collaborate, you can work with your peers, you can work on any project, or you can prepare some presentation, you can present that presentation to your mentors, which will ultimately help you. So feedback and reflection, it is so important. Feedback sessions should be there in case if you have presented any presentation. After that presentation, sit with your mentors and ask for a feedback and accept your feedback. We ask for a feedback, but we do not accept it. We say, no, I have to done well. I was doing very well in my presentation. How could I do that? No, accept it. If someone has identified that problem in you, you should consider it as a problem and you should improve it. What is the fun of having feedback if I'm not taking my feedback on a serious note? So feedbacks are important. And I told you about journaling also, reflective journaling. This is going to help you throughout your life. Dedicate time to reflect on your experience, both success and challenges. Document your learning, write it down, write your action plans, and what are your goals, write it down like that. Definitely, it is going to improve your, regular life also and your professional life as well. Last but not the least, it is networking. Network is net worth. Ultimately, who is going to hire you or who is going to fire you? It is all about your networking. Do not lose mentorship opportunities. If there is some fair, some job fair, or some internship opportunity, you might not be getting any single penny out of that, but you will be getting experience. Avail that opportunity. Go and talk to deans and directors of your university or college. Talk to them. Whatever they are going to speak, it will be their experience. Ask them about their experience. Ask them about any key learnings. Ask them about keywords. Ask them what are the things or what are skill set I can add into my life to make a successful journey. So this is networking is so important because ultimately network is network. Where are you right now? You never know. That person sitting next to you might hire you. So this is your networking skills, how you are going to do in your workplace. Networking and finding mentors are crucial for engineering students to expand their professional connection or gain valuable guidance and stay updated on industry trends. So as I told you, attend career fair, join professional societies. There are a lot of things on LinkedIn which is free of cost. Go for that courses. Udemy is there. They offer you a variety of courses at very minimum cost. One internship Pathshala is there, internshala, some sort of this software is there, who is going to provide you internship. So ultimately, you are going to gain experience out of that. So do it. Some alumni connections, your alumni connections will be working in some multinational companies. You can talk to them. Just ask for a let's go on a coffee and just discuss your ideas, that mutual understanding, that mutual, consent on some economy thing, which will help you to broaden your EQ level as well. So mentorship program provides personalized support from experienced engineers like helping you to navigate challenge, develop leadership skills, identify internship, job opportunities. So these things are done in case if you ultimately network and in case if you have a good mentorship. So that's the end from my side.
Yeah.
This
Thank you
this was
so
all
much.
about four C's, I can tell you.
Yeah. So, student, if you have any questions, so please don't hesitate. I think we have one question from Jitin Gupta uh, that we have not taken that time. Should we totally depend on AI for making presentation, or should we
No, no,
leverage
no.
them? Yeah.
No, 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 not at all. I'll tell you. AI, don't treat AI as a software. Treat AI as a full-term intern who is with you 24 into 7. What you are going to guide that intern will give you output accordingly, right?
True.
AI will never give you full-fledged presentation.
Hmm.
So AI will give you as per your need how you are guiding. And definitely interns do mistakes. Internships require guidance. So ultimately, what result is you need to put your effort also. Don't rely on AI at all.
Right. So, yes, so I think you have given the complete answer. Don't have a full support. You can just take a support from that AI, but don't rely
Support is
completely.
important.
Yeah. So, student, you have any other question? Is
I guess
that-
one question is there: how to
Yeah.
choose a team or team members? That question
Yeah.
chat box is. Can you please read for me?
Yeah. How to choose a team or team members when we have a option to select them with us.
The ultimate answer to that is say team member to write down SOP, statement of purpose, why you want yourself to be a part of this team. By that SOP, you will come to know how much enthusiastic and how much knowledgeable that other person is. So you can, select.
Yeah, you can have a small test sort of thing.
Ah,
If you think that
not test, but SOP is
yeah,
required. Test will
yes,
again will be. We are not going to evaluate them out of their knowledge. We are
yeah.
going to evaluate out of their passion and enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm, that is very important. And
That is
relevant to this, I have one question. Suppose when we are in the corporate world, so it's not possible for anyone to get a person or a team members of our own choice. So
yes.
it's quite possible that the team are not favorable to us. So how to cope up with those situations?
See, there comes our collaboration skills.
Yeah.
We need to keep our mindset open. We need to keep our ego aside and we need to work on that project. So
Yes.
all five fingers are not of same level. We need to bow our head in one situation and we expect other person to do the same in other situation.
Right.
So this is all about how we adjust ourselves just for the sake of that project. Because
Mhm.
ultimately our aim is same.
Right. So again, this is again a key point that collaboration, right? And one question I have, uh, how good, when we are going for a job, like should we send them CV or resume? So which one would you suggest?
CV is better. These days CVs are better. And
Okay.
one we have a cover statement also. So cover statement along with CV.
Okay. So what are the common mistake? Like you have seen people, no? So what are the common mistake that they are performing during no applying for job? Like so they can also
They
avoid.
are, see, people, they are not able to understand their skill sets. They just go for, see, if a student is from some sort of, let us assume that student, these are engineering students. If I say that students are from civil engineering background, if one company has created a vacancy of civil engineering with a certain skill set,
Hmm.
everyone is going to apply that, not knowing that whether I have that skill set in me or not, whether I am good in CAD, whether I'm good in Tom, whether I'm good in SOM. No, I'll just go and apply for a job. And there also an interview, in case if I'm getting that job, I'll not tell other person that I'm not pro in this field. And later on, when ultimately work is on my table, I'm not able to perform. So
Yes.
just consider your skill sets to be very important.
Mm.
to know about your skills
Yeah.
and then ultimately apply for a job.
Yeah, and I have seen many people like asking me this question, ma'am. I know this, but each of the skill have a different job role, so they are pretty confused that to which one to be applied for. So what to do in that case?
See, initially everything is your resume is your reflection, your CV
Yeah.
is your reflection.
Mm.
Don't write anything inappropriate and do your self assessment first.
Mm.
Where I am good at and what I love to do. Because ultimately, I have seen students entering into a wrong job and resigning very soon.
Mm.
So, if I resign before 1 year or after 1 year, that is ultimately going to hamper my professional life. So, we
And
need
this is
to
very
do.
common as a fresher.
It is happening. It is happening everywhere. I go for and I have interviewed many students. They come and they have worked in IT for 1 year and suddenly they have switched their jobs.
Mm.
So ultimately, this is going to hamper your career path.
Mm.
You need to be very much clear. You need to be persistent. You should not switch any company before 5 years at least. Settle in that
Yes.
company, and you
Yes.
need to make informed decision while entering that company.
Yeah. So this is a quite a good thing. And there is another question. As an undergraduate, should I use? I think I have asked this question.
Yes,
How
yes,
long
CV is
should they?
important. I have read that
Yeah.
CV should not be long because no one has a time to read. And recruiters get irritated if you have written long paragraphs. I too get. So always write in a bullet point, starting with your
Yeah.
achievement at topmost, telling about yourself at topmost, how you are different from others, write it down.
Hmm.
Your current achievements, your aspiration in a bullet points. Never write paragraphs, not add tables also.
Yeah.
That tabular form is also gone.
Oh, right, right. So I think that is the international standard that we have to
That is
follow.
internal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and it is better to keep it a very concise manner. So, when we just look into it, so we'll understand what is inside it. If you have experience, then put the experience. If you have achiever in
Yes.
something, just put it in the top. And what is your, suppose you're a design engineer, put that as a design engineer. If you're a civil engineer and specialize in something, just put it highlighted. So it will be understandable for recruiters as well. So, any other question that students having? And yes, I have seen most of our students are very poor in communication. Especially, I have seen engineering student. They are having a very good knowledge but very poor in communication.
Mm,
So I think they need to build up. So can you share
definitely.
some of the basic, tips that they can improve their communication effectively?
Okay, so communication, again, I say that it is very important. We cannot survive in case if I don't have my good communication. So, very basic and thing exercise is add on words into your vocabulary. Make sure that regularly you are adding new words into your bucket list. 2 words. Just imagine if I'm following this practice for 30 days, I will be having 60 words in my bucket list. So, in case, why do we face vocabulary problem? Because we are not, communication problem, why it happens? Because I do not have good vocabulary.
Mm.
Because I don't know that word, what I have to speak over here.
Mm.
So in case if my vocabulary will be improved, I'll have a good, that count of a words in my brain, then definitely I can excel and start watching English series or something like that. In case if you're watching Hindi series also, then we have our English subtitles.
Right.
So just
Yes.
mute that and read those things, subtitles. That is very important.
Okay, this is one of the another good tricks to learn this. And yes, as you have mentioned, the vocabulary is very important, right? And I hope we don't have any further questions, and we have almost covered the majority of our questions. So let's wait for 1 minute, one more minute. Okay, so thank you, ma'am, for sharing your wonderful insights about 4C. And I hope students have got to know the importance of communication, the importance of creative thinking, that how it is actually very much helpful especially in the field of engineering, because engineering field is a such kind of field where we need innovation to do any project, because engineering can sustain only if they have a project, right? So you have nicely stated the importance about critical thinking, creativity, innovations, and communications also. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sparing a time with our interns and also with InnovaWorld. Thank you
I
so
would like
much.
to know feedback in case if you have any format or something, do
Yeah,
send me that
definitely.
feedback
We
also.
have format and definitely I will share you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night. Okay, ma'am. Alright, student, before leaving, you just fill up the feedback form so that we can know. And if you have any other further requested suggestions that you have, you can drop in that feedback form itself, right? So, please do fill up the feedback form and then you leave the session. Alright? Anyone having any other further question? So I hope you don't have any questions. So please, before leaving, I'm telling you, uh, fill up the feedback form and then you can leave. Okay, student. Then if you don't have a good night, yeah, sure. That I'll be sharing in your mail. Okay, Varun? All right. Otherwise, you can search and I will share that. No worries about that. Okay. Okay, then see you. Good night.